Right now, for just the third time in U.S. history, senators will serve as jurors in the impeachment trial of the president starting today. We'll tell you what to expect.
Plus, the city of Madison is making life a little easier for moms. We'll tell you about their new space for breastfeeding.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for sticking with us on your Tuesday, January 21st. I'm Leah Linscheid.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Meteorologist Hattie McLean has a cold morning out there, but at least we're going to see some sunshine for, what, one more day?
One more day, yeah. Soak it up today because we don't have a lot of sunshine in our forecast over the next 10 days. Take a look at our current temperatures. We're actually up a couple of degrees here in Madison. 4, up from 2 last hour, 3 in Janesville, 3 in the Dells. There are still a few spots that are below 0 this morning. So any way you look at it, it's definitely a chilly start to the day. Temperatures will climb to highs in the mid-20s this afternoon. Unlike yesterday, though, we'll be dealing with a southwesterly wind that'll be a little bit stronger, so that's going to keep a chill in the air today. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic maps early this morning. No major issues to report right now. However, there are some brake lights showing up on the Beltline right around Stoughton Road. Getting a little busier there. No issues, though, in and around Dane County. Road conditions are good this morning, but coming up in weather, we're talking about the chance for some snow. Now, this is a look at your evening commute for Wednesday. There may be some issues for that commute with the snow starting to fall across southern Wisconsin.
It'll be a little bit of a different story then once again. We've been spoiled the last couple days.
We have been.
Enjoy today.
All right, Hattie, thank you.
To our top story this morning, you're taking a live look at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., where later today, the third impeachment trial in U.S. history will begin. Members of the Senate will serve as jurors in President Trump's impeachment trial. Both previous trials of Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton ended up in acquittal.
The trial will start at noon today when they'll vote on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's proposed rules before the trial starts. Each side will get 24 hours over 2 days to make their opening statements. The condensed calendar means senators could be sitting through 12-hour sessions. It also doesn't allow new House evidence to be admitted without a vote and pushes off any votes on witnesses until later in the trial. In just the last hour, President Trump arrived in Davos for the World Economic Forum and answered questions about his impeachment.
It's the witch hunt that's been going on for years, and frankly, it's disgraceful. But we look forward to being here. Klaus has done a fantastic job. And again, we're meeting with the biggest companies in the world, the biggest businesses in the world, and world leaders, all for the benefit of the United States. We look forward to the meeting.
Be sure to stick around after News 3 Now this morning for a CBS News special report. And of course, we'll have the latest developments and local reaction as well.
New this morning, President Trump's administration is asking the Defense Department to come up with the money to fund 270 more miles of border wall. The wall has cost more than $11 billion so far, which comes down to nearly $20 million per mile. Wisconsin Public Radio reports the Trump administration is actively looking to build more wall in order to block drug smuggling routes on federal land. The Pentagon is currently looking over that request, which didn't come with a price tag.
Back here at home, an interim superintendent for the Beloit School District could be announced later today. The Beloit School Board is holding a meeting today where they'll elect new officers. The school district is also working to restructure after accepting a resignation from former Superintendent Stanley Monroe last week. Former school board president Pamela Charles also stepped down. Concerned parents and families have already spoken out about the lack of professional development and leadership there. The district is planning for more listening sessions in an effort to reestablish the community's trust.
A group of about 20 students at a local high school is making history by creating the school's first Black student union. With only a handful of Black students at Waunakee High School, they wanted to create a group where they could be heard, seen, and understood, something they say they couldn't have even dreamed of a few decades ago.
The things that we do daily are things that they could never even dream of, so I think that progress has already been made, but then also taking it a step further to dream even farther, because I don't think they'd want us to meet the goal and stop there.
The group has already made a big impact on the school. Administrators say they successfully advocated for lessons on Black History Month, a first for that district.
New this morning, a student is suspended and won't be allowed to graduate unless he cuts his dreadlocks. Activists stood beside DeAndre Arnold and his family as he addressed the Barbers Hill ISD school board in Texas. It's a hair policy that critics say is racially charged, but the district says it isn't about dreadlocks or race, it's about length.
There is no dress code policy that prohibits any cornrow or any other method of the wearing of the hair. Our policy limits the length. It's been that way for 30 years.
DeAndre should not have to go through this. This family should not have to go through this, but I expect it from a school board that has zero diversity.
DeAndre's family is hoping his hair doesn't derail the student's future. They're exploring different legal options, but as of this morning, DeAndre is still unable to graduate come May. 6:05 right now. The city and county are working together to make life a bit easier for mothers.
Both are creating new, clean, and private spaces to make breastfeeding a little easier for mom and baby. Keely Arthur is joining us live this morning to share how. Hi, Keely.
Hi, Leah and Josh. Yes, I am live on South Park Street in front of the Dane County Public Health Services offices. And this is just one of the places where they have one of these lactation stations or pumping stations located. And this is all about giving mothers some space and some privacy. Back in 2019, the city of Madison passed a memorandum requiring city facilities to have a safe and clean space for nursing mothers. There are now nearly 100 of those spaces in the city and Dane County.
People are allowed to breastfeed wherever they want to. That's something we promote and educate people about a lot because that's really important protection. But also people, come back to work when they're breastfeeding and need a place to pump during the day because your milk doesn't just drop off when you come back to work. And so a space like this allows people to be able to go to work but also continue meeting their lactation goals.
And these spaces, as you can see in the video, are actually pretty nice. They have chairs, sinks, electricity, and Dane County now has 4 of these Mamava pods, including one here on South Park Street. You can think of them as kind of pop-up mobile versions of those lactation rooms. And as we said, mothers can breastfeed publicly. It is a local and state law, but this is just about giving moms another option to breastfeed in the comfort of some privacy. And coming up in the next half hour, we're going to talk about how the city and county are allocating some more dollars to help make more of these rooms possible. Josh and Leah.
All right, Keely Arthur live in Madison this morning. Keely, thank you.
6:07 your time now, and still ahead on News 3 Now this morning. There is new legislation that could be approved today that could help prevent future groundwater pollution, keeping your family's drinking water safe. We'll tell you about it next.
And we're waking up in the single digits this morning, but Hattie's tracking a warm-up, and along with it, the return of snow chances. She's in next with the First Alert forecast.
News
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio, where it's pretty darn chilly outside this morning. Temperatures are down near zero in many spots, and we're looking for some sunshine today, though, but still pretty chilly conditions through the day. If you didn't wash the car yesterday, you maybe have an opportunity today, but be forewarned, if you do wash that car today, it's not going to stay clean for very long. We have some snow in the forecast for Wednesday and again on Thursday. In addition, temperatures are going to be warming, so we will see some melting taking place here across southern Wisconsin, which is going to make the roads very messy. Now, here's a look at that high temperature trend. Normal highs are in the mid-20s right now, but we will be in the mid-30s for quite a stretch from Thursday through the first part of next week. Temperatures will be topping in the mid-30s, so there'll likely be quite a bit of melting going on. As a result, we'll likely see some areas of fog with that snow melting and quite a few clouds around the area. No clouds today, though. High pressure still dominating the weather around here. As it drifts to the south and east, our winds will kick in from the southwest today around that area of high pressure. So it'll be a little breezy this afternoon, but still lots of sunshine in our forecast. Our temperatures this morning are pretty cold all around. We're in the single digits, above zero here in Madison, but Des Moines still at 3 below. Minneapolis now up to 4 at this hour. Here's a closer look at southern Wisconsin temperatures. 3 in the Dells, 9 in Mineral Point, but below zero through the Wisconsin River Valley. 3 below in Lone Rock and 2 below in Boscoville. Luckily for us, there isn't much of a wind this morning, so our wind chill not a huge factor right now. However, this afternoon, as southwesterly winds increase, that's going to keep those wind chills in the single digits and low teens this afternoon. So even despite the sunshine, still likely to feel pretty chilly today. Your future track forecast model, though, shows you can expect to see sunshine all day today. By lunchtime, temperatures will be climbing through the teens. We'll top in the 20s today, later on this afternoon, but then drop back into the teens this evening. So pretty chilly as you head home from work. Skies will turn partly to mostly cloudy overnight, and then for tomorrow, we do have some snow spreading into the area from the west. Look for that snow to reach Madison by the evening commute, so it may impact the evening commute. It is expected, though, to remain pretty light. We're not talking much accumulation, maybe up to an inch. Our forecast then for Thursday and Friday calls for additional chances for snow, maybe even some rain mixing into the south with temperatures in the middle 30s. Shouldn't be any weather issues, though, for your commute this morning. Let's get all the details from Stacy Kay. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning. No problems on the Beltline yet. Nothing to slow you down in either direction. Checking out other roads here in Dane County, just the usual brake lights at Stoughton Road and Park Street approaching the Beltline. No problems yet downtown or around campus, but expect heavy volume later this morning as the college kids return to school today from winter break. Other main routes heading into Madison, cruising along at the posted speeds, no crashes or delays. With your first alert traffic, I'm Stacy Kay.
Thank you, Stacy, and thank you, Hattie. 6:14 now. The Wisconsin Legislature is set to approve a bill today that would change the way firefighters use foam. The goal here is to help lessen groundwater pollution by those so-called PFAS chemicals. The Republican-authored proposal would allow firefighting foam with PFAS to be used only during an emergency firefighter training or testing. If it's approved, the bill would head to Governor Evers' desk for a signature. The Madison Fire Department, by the way, switched to a non-PFAS foam back in December.
The Henry Vilas Zoo is starting a fundraiser for wildlife recovery efforts in Australia. Those fires continue to burn this morning and have already destroyed habitats, impacting more than 1 billion animals. The zoo is setting up donation boxes at the gift shop and restaurant, and you can also donate online from now until the end of February. The money will go directly to WIRES, Australia's largest wildfire rescue organization, and Zoos Victoria, a leading conservation organization.
There are new concerns this morning about a mysterious illness in China that could make its way to the U.S. as more people travel during that country's New Year. It's called the coronavirus, and over the weekend, the number of known infections in Asia quadrupled. As millions of people are expected to travel for China's Lunar New Year, officials in major U.S. cities are screening incoming passengers to detect the virus. So far, 3 people in Asia have died.
Around the state this morning, a community is rallying around a Milwaukee woman on standby for a double lung transplant. Sarah Gallegos is in the ICU this morning, attached to tubes to help her breathe. Her family says doctors are keeping her comfortable while they wait. Meanwhile, medical bills are starting to come in. Sarah doesn't have medical insurance, and because of her immigration status, she doesn't qualify for Medicaid either. To try and expedite Sarah's immigration application, the couple got married last month and hired an attorney. Milwaukee's Mexican consulate even paid for the application fees.
Be able to say that there's some kind of hope helps us to feel at least a little bit more comfortable, you know, at least knowing that there's something happening.
If you'd like to help the family, there's also a GoFundMe page with the family's medical expenses.
The American Red Cross says it continues to struggle through a critical blood shortage this season. Winter is a notoriously difficult time to collect enough blood and platelet donations, and this year is no exception. Right now, the Red Cross has critical type O blood shortages, but they're asking donors of all blood types to step up. Without more donors, patient care could be impacted. You can go to redcrossblood.org to find a blood drive near you.
New studies show pregnant women who take acetaminophen during pregnancy may be at an increased risk for their child to have ADHD. Acetaminophen is the active ingredient in painkillers like Tylenol and is prescribed for an estimated 65% of pregnant women. The study shows the ADHD concerns are only the case in long-term use of more than 29 days. Researchers still encourage short-term use to relieve pain and fever.
1, 2, 3.
Trending this morning, 19 co-workers in an Omaha, Nebraska NICU are celebrating, and for good reason. All of these women had their babies in 2019. They're normally taking care of other people's newborns, but now they're taking care of their own with a large support group of women going through the same thing. Now, the Methodist Women's Hospital there is hiring travel nurses to help fill all those vacancies since all these new moms will be taking maternity leave.
That is so adorable, and it's going to be fun to follow all those kids through their years. Like, I can imagine like a follow-up story in like 18 years when they're all graduating. A lot of them probably will be friends. Because it's such a close-knit group.
Imagine that 5-year-old birthday party.
Oh my
20
goodness.
babies there. Love it.
So awesome. All right, 6:17 right now, and there's much more local news ahead for us on this Tuesday morning.
This is a morning you might want to stay under the blankets, folks. It's a single-digit morning here in southern Wisconsin, just a blanket of clouds, but we are going to see the sun. Hattie has her first alert forecast right after this. 6:21 on this Tuesday. A little hazy out there, but it's starting to see the sun, Hattie.
Oh, always nice when we can start to see the sunshine.
Earlier and earlier.
I know, skies are clear, so we have a lot of sunshine in the forecast today. I guess if I have one piece of advice, it's enjoy that sunshine today because it won't be here tomorrow. Temperatures are cold under those clear skies. We're starting off near zero this morning, so remind the kids to bundle up today. We are talking a wind chill today. Southwesterly winds will increase this afternoon, so it's going to feel like it's in the single digits at lunchtime, low teens later on today. Here's a look at your bus stop weather forecast. Again, it is going to be a cold one, so the kids need really all the layers today. Hat, mittens as well. We have sunshine in the forecast, but highs only in the 20s. Coming up in weather, we'll talk about this cold weather. It extends all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Tell you when it's going to move out of here.
Employees at Delta Airlines are getting a nice unexpected bonus this year. Workers will be getting an extra 2 months' pay thanks to the company's strong performance in 2019. Every eligible employee will get a check in the next month for nearly 17% of their annual salary. Ooh. Yeah, pretty impressive. Delta says this record-breaking bump is the 6th straight year they've paid out more than $1 billion to workers.
That's incredible. Wisconsin is going into 2020 rather, on a high note with home sales. The Wisconsin Realtors Association is out with its latest report this morning, showing sales increased 14.8% between December 2018 and December 19. Median prices rose 10.1% to $197,000. Experts say the strong performance for December pulled annual sales nearly even with 2018. Remember, we hope to keep the conversation going about prices in and around Madison. News 3 Now wants to know what kind of affordability questions you have or what you're experiencing. You can let me know on social media or email.
All right, over the summer, we shared the story of some Madison moms who were collecting baby clothes for a migrant shelter in Tucson, Arizona. We have an update now. Since then, that cause has grown into a larger group called Alita's Angels. Founder Margaret Musgraves traveled to Arizona this week to visit Casa Alita's for the first time. During her visit, she was able to give the shelter's medical team $1,000 to help buy prescriptions.
It's amazing to actually finally be here and see Casa Alita, see all the guests, and actually see the impact that we're making kind of firsthand. I mean, I know Rachel's has seen it like every day for the past year and a half, but I've never seen it before, so it's been really impactful for me personally.
Incredible. Musgrave says they still need help with some high in-demand items, including seasonal children's clothes and backpacks. All right, trending this morning, a heartwarming story about a cat with crocheted ears.
A cat named Lady in a Fur Coat had to have her ears removed due to chronic infections. Take a look. Lady is a former stray, but she is a sweet cat who likes cuddles and head bumps. However, without any ears, everyone at the Dane County Humane Society was concerned no one would adopt her. So a nice shelter employee decided to help her out. She crocheted Lady this adorable ear bonnet. Lady was adopted just hours after the Humane Society posted photos on Facebook.
What a cutie.
I love that.
We are always sharing people helping people stories on the show. People helping cat stories, just as good.
Yeah, and everyone has their own unique way of life there, too.
Right.
All right, still ahead for us, we're telling you what you need to know about today's historic impeachment trial.
Plus, we're telling you why one Madison woman is frustrated with police after she found her stolen car before they did. That's what's coming up in the next half hour of News 3 Now this morning.
from the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for staying with us on this Tuesday, January 21st. I'm Josh Brighter.
And I'm Leah Lynchide. President Trump is overseas this week at the World Economic Forum, while senators will start the impeachment trial against him.
Before that can happen, a battle over the rules of the trial will take place. CBS's Katherine Johnson is on Capitol Hill this morning with the latest.
The Senate's impeachment trial of President Trump kicks off today with what's expected to be a hotly contested debate on the rules.
McConnell is hell-bent on making it much more difficult to get witnesses and documents.
Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's proposal gives each side 24 hours over 2 days to make their opening statements. Then 16 hours are reserved for senators to submit written questions to both teams. It also does not admit the House evidence without a vote.
High octane for the United States Senate, and it's my hope that we'll push through that and have that motion to dismiss and get through this national nightmare as fast as possible.
Democrats need 4 GOP senators to vote with them if they want new witnesses to testify.
They should have called the witnesses in the House, and they failed to do that.
A new CNN poll finds 69% of Americans believe new witnesses should testify.
Mitch McConnell wants a fast trial, not a fair trial.
Throughout the trial, all eyes will be on a small number of moderate Republican senators, some up for re-election this November.
Getting this right and the fairness of our trial is so critically important.
Colorado's Cory Gardner is one of them.
Everybody wants to know exactly where we are and how I'm going to vote and how this is going to happen. But, you know, we have a trial.
Some Republicans have signaled they do want to hear from relevant witnesses, though the White House could claim executive privilege to block them from testifying. Katherine Johnson, CBS News, Washington.
If witnesses are called, it could extend the trial by a number of weeks. The White House would like to see the trial end before the State of the Union, which is 2 weeks from today.
All right, over to Hattie now with a look at your out-the-door forecast and traffic report on this Tuesday. Hi, Hattie.
Good morning, Leah and Josh. As you head out the door this morning, plan a few extra minutes to scrape the windshield. There is some frost on the cars here at the station. Just a quick scrape is all that's needed today. Grab those sunglasses as well. We do have sun in the forecast. It is chilly this morning. Wind chills are pretty close to the actual air temperature, though. There's not a whole lot of wind right now. As we go through the day, though, those southwesterly winds will be increasing. Your out-the-door forecast has temperatures climbing into the 20s once again. Keep in mind with that southwesterly wind, it's still going to feel pretty chilly this afternoon. Here's a look at your first alert traffic maps early today. Still pretty quiet, a little early for those high volume delays, but I would expect more cars on the road today than yesterday. So plan on your usual delays showing up on the Beltline after 7 o'clock. Right now, though, you're still going at posted speeds as you head into Madison. Coming up in weather, we are talking chances for snow again. This is the Wednesday forecast. Looks like you may need to plan for a little bit of snow for the afternoon and evening.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Hattie. More local news now. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is hoping you can help them solve the murder of a U.S. Navy veteran and father. Nicholas Day was found dead along a rural road outside Blue Mounds last week. Originally, investigators thought he was hit by a car while jogging on Highway JG, but the case has now evolved into a murder investigation. Deputies want to talk to anybody who knew Day and might have information about his personal or professional life. You can call the Sheriff's Office tip line right there on your screen. We also have that number up on Channel3000.com.
Right now, police still don't have any suspects identified in a weekend homicide at an apartment complex in Madison. 20-year-old Antonio Stidham of Chicago was shot and killed off of McKenna Boulevard in an apartment that was not his. Police believe it was a targeted attack. A Madison woman has her car back, or her stolen car back this morning after police found it, but not before she did multiple times.
I felt so frustrated because I saw my car.
Mealy Castro says she reported a stolen vehicle with valuables inside to Madison police on Tuesday. The very next day, Castro saw strangers driving it on Madison's west side. Despite having the car within eyesight, Castro says police couldn't help her. She would need to give them the exact address of where the car is. Madison police wouldn't tell us about what the protocol is for locating and retrieving stolen vehicles. They found Castro's car on Saturday.
A group of fire departments in Rock County is taking a new approach to handling calls that could shave minutes off response times. First responders are using a new type of technology called the automatic vehicle locator. It uses GPS in the fire engines and the ambulances to figure out who's the closest to the call. Then it dispatches those units to the scene. Beloit, Janesville, and Milton have all signed on to collaborate.
we are sharing resources, and the resources are being, you know, it's equipment, it's manpower, it's everything that we need, and this way it's a better use of tax dollars.
The departments are hoping to collaborate with other fire crews in Rock County and Northern Illinois to expand the use of that new technology. 6:33 now. The city and county are working to make life a bit easier for mothers.
Both are creating new, clean, and private spaces to make breastfeeding a little easier for mom and baby. Keely.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. Yes, I am live off of South Park Street in front of Dane County's public health offices. This is where one of those breast pumping or lactation rooms is. It's important to note that you can breastfeed publicly. That is legal, but this is all about giving mothers some extra space and privacy. And here is a look at how the community is doing just that.
It's a choice for anybody in the public if they want to use it or not, but we like to provide the room or the accommodations in case that is their choice.
But for many years, when it came to breastfeeding, there really wasn't much of a choice at all. It was wherever you could find space or maybe the public bathroom.
You wouldn't eat a sandwich in a public bathroom. That wouldn't seem clean or seem right for you, so why should it seem right for baby or mom?
So in 2019, the city passed a memorandum requiring city facilities to have a safe and clean space for nursing mothers.
We have both private rooms for employees, and we also have public lactation rooms for the public if anybody wants to come to a city facility and use one.
Hannah Molininski, the public information officer for the City of Madison Engineering Division, says the only real difference between the employee rooms and ones for the general public is that the ones for employees have a fridge for storing breast milk. Otherwise, they're all pretty nice.
Each room has a chair. Usually it has wipeable fabric that has plug-in for the breast pump, or if they want to plug in music or whatever they want to do to make themselves comfortable while pumping or breastfeeding.
And the good news is these supportive spaces extend far beyond Madison city limits.
So this is a lactation pod. We purchased it last year.
Dane County now has 4 of these Mamava pods, including this one on South Park Street. You can think of them as pop-up versions of the lactation rooms.
If we really wanted to, we could move it somewhere. But it's here to stay for now. This is one that's really useful for the area.
There are now roughly 100 places to privately breastfeed in Madison and Dane County. And with $100,000 approved by Dane County for this initiative, the support for mom and baby will continue to grow.
We're really excited to maybe see more of these in 2020 and just continue growing the availability of these spaces for people.
And the county and city do have a map up showing you where all of those locations are. We're going to put a link to that up on our website. And again, breastfeeding in public is legal. If someone ever were to say something to you, you could just explain to them that it is the law. Josh and Leah.
All right, Keely Arthur live in Madison. Keely, thank you.
Still ahead in the morning sprint, find out how you can help with the ongoing critical blood shortage.
And if you feel like you're constantly running short on time, you are not alone. How some psychologists recommend fighting off time famines when News 3 Now This Morning is back. New this morning, if you're finding yourself with too much to do and not enough time to do it, you may be what is called a time famine. Some psychologists recommend buying your time. A new study shows spending money on time-saving purchases such as grocery delivery or a house cleaning service increases daily happiness and reduces a negative mood. Researchers also found that regardless of income levels, spending money to buy time is associated with greater satisfaction in life.
So that's what we are asking you to sound off about on Facebook this morning. Would you pay for time, or are you a penny pincher?
So right now, it looks like 65% of folks are saying that they are a penny pincher compared to 35% who would pay for time. Where do you see yourself?
I sort of agree with that. I think we always have more time. At least that's what my parents raised me to believe. You don't always have money.
No, you don't. I'm really tight with my money. I get that from my parents. But there are some times where it's like, yep, for the convenience, it's worth it. But I think at the end of the day, you just have to make some time. You have to make some time for yourself and figure it out, because it's easy just to,
And figure out a way to enjoy it, too. I get to go grocery shopping, not I have to.
You get to pick out the food that you want to eat.
There you go. We would love to hear what you think, though. Make sure your voice is heard. Go sound off on our poll.
And while you're up on Facebook this morning, share your morning with us. This is what Mel shared with us on Instagram. Just an incredible shot of the sunrise, and I'm really taking this in because we're not going to have much sun in the forecast coming up here in the next week.
I know. I'm hoping Mel can get back out, take one more picture today. Going to be cloudy for the rest of the week, though we could see some snowy pictures. Those are always lovely.
Yeah, those are always lovely, too. Thanks for sharing, Mel. If you've got a photo, please send it to us over on our Facebook page. 6:41 right now. The cold weather continues this morning, but Hattie's tracking a warm-up along with some rain and snow chances. She's updating her extended forecast next.
Just a beautiful sunrise out there right now, folks. If you have a little kid turning 3 soon, though, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV. Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning.
6:45 on a Tuesday morning. Live look at the sunrise right there. Sunrise getting a little earlier and earlier every day.
Boy, that's a pretty sight, even with no clouds in sight.
I know, and we better take it in because Hattie has a lot of clouds in that extended forecast. Hattie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh. And Leah, you're right. We are going to see a lot of clouds in the upcoming forecast, but a beautiful sunrise. Take a look at this picture as well from the Edgewater. Just as nice. Lots of pretty colors behind the Capitol this morning. Here's a look at our 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. As we close out the month of January and head into February, we are expecting above normal temperatures across the northern tier of the United States. That's generally a good thing, you might think, maybe warming up a little bit, but those warmer temperatures means that the snow will be melting, so we'll look for lots of clouds and maybe even some fog from time to time. Also during that same time frame, above normal precipitation through the central part of the country is expected. Southern Wisconsin getting close to those higher probabilities as well, so it could be a little unsettled. Now right now things are pretty quiet through the middle of the country. No precipitation showing up. There still is quite a bit of moisture out to the west. We're seeing some snow through the mountains, some rain across parts of southern Arizona this morning. That storm system will head into southern Wisconsin later on tomorrow. But until it reaches us, we have clear skies and a pretty quiet forecast coming our way today. Skies are clear this morning. Temperatures are down close to 0. 4 in Madison. 4 as well in the Dells. Janesville starts at 3 this morning. Through the Wisconsin River Valley, though, take a look at those numbers. Temperatures are actually below 0 early this morning. There isn't much of a wind right now, but that southwesterly wind will be increasing through the day today. So for the afternoon, here's lunchtime. Southwest wind around 15 miles an hour. That's definitely going to create a bit of a wind chill for us here in southern Wisconsin. Take a look at your wind chill forecast. At lunchtime, feeling like 7. Only feeling like the teens through the afternoon hours. So even despite the sunshine today, it's going to feel a little bit cooler than it did yesterday. Your future track forecast model shows you, though, clear skies through the morning. By lunchtime, temperatures will be climbing through the teens. This afternoon will top in the 20s with mostly sunny skies. Staying pretty quiet through the evening hours. Temperatures will drop back into the teens, but with the south wind all night, I do expect those numbers to start to rise during the overnight hours. So by this time tomorrow, we'll likely be about 20 degrees warmer than we are today. Take a look at the snow that's spreading in from the west. By lunchtime, that snow for our northwestern viewing area. Through the evening commute, that snow may be falling here in south central Wisconsin as well. Now, amounts are generally expected to be on the light side with this particular system. Most spots picking up less than an inch. Here's a look at our extended forecast. We have temperatures that will climb into the 30s starting tomorrow. Chances for snow and even a little bit of a mix to the south on Thursday and Friday with those milder temperatures. And there you have the 10-day forecast. Unfortunately, not a lot of sun coming up for us here in southern Wisconsin. That time of the year. Take a look at this cutie, though. This is thunder in Baraboo. No thunder in the forecast, but I imagine that thunder will be curled up in a nice sunny spot today.
So cuddly.
That's where you're going to find us. Thank you very much, Hattie.
Not a bad idea.
Morning Sprint is up next. Stay with us.
It's 6:51, time for the morning sprint with everything you need to know to start your Tuesday.
We began in Washington this morning. That's where the opening phase of the President Trump's impeachment trial will start in the Senate this afternoon. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell laid out his rules proposal for what looks to be a speedy trial. Democrats plan to introduce amendments, including those calling for witnesses to testify.
President Trump's administration is asking the Defense Department to come up with the money to fund 270 more miles of border wall. The wall has cost more than $11 billion so far. NPR reports Trump wants to block drug smuggling routes on federal land. The Pentagon is currently looking over that request, which did not come with the price tag.
A group of about 20 students at a local high school is making history by creating the school's first black student union. With only a handful of black students at Waunakee High School, they wanted to create a group where they could be seen, heard, and understood. The group has already made a big impact on the school. Administrators say they successfully advocated for lessons on Black History Month, a first for the district.
And we're starting with clear skies across southern Wisconsin. Here's the view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Sun comes up after 7:20 this morning. Temperatures are still chilly though. It's 5 in Platteville, 4 here in Madison, single digits all around above and below zero early today. Temperatures will be climbing into the mid-20s this afternoon, but southwesterly winds keeping a bit of a chill in the air today.
Patty, thank you. Right now, Dane County investigators are hoping you can help them find the person responsible for killing Nicholas Day. The Navy veteran was found dead along a rural road in Blue Mountains last week. Deputies want to speak with people who knew Day and may have any information about his personal or professional life. You can call the Sheriff's Office tip line. We have that number on the screen and also on channel3000.com.
Police still don't have any suspects identified in this weekend's homicide at an apartment in Madison. 20-year-old Antonio Stidham of Chicago was shot and killed just off of McKenna Boulevard in an apartment that wasn't his. Police do believe it was a targeted attack.
A Madison woman has her stolen car back with her this morning. Mealy Castro says she reported a stolen vehicle with valuables inside to Madison police on Tuesday. The very next day, Castro saw strangers driving it on Madison's west side. Now, despite having the car within eyesight, Castro says police couldn't help her. Madison police wouldn't tell us about what the protocol is for locating and retrieving stolen vehicles. They found Castro's car on Saturday.
A group of local fire departments is taking a new approach to handling calls that could shave minutes off response times. Rock County first responders are using new technology called automatic vehicle locators. It uses GPS in the fire engines and ambulances to figure out who's closest to the call. Then it dispatches those units to the scene.
The Wisconsin Legislature is set to approve a bill today that would change the way firefighters use foam. This is all in an effort to lessen groundwater pollution. The Republican-authored proposal would allow firefighting foam with PFAS to be used only during emergency, firefighter training, or testing under certain conditions. If approved, the bill would head to Governor Evers' desk for a signature.
The Henry Vilas Zoo is starting a fundraiser for wildlife recovery efforts in Australia. The zoo is setting up donation boxes at the gift shop and its restaurant. You can also donate online from now until the end of February. The money will go directly to WIRES, that's Australia's largest wildfire rescue organization, and Zoos Victoria, a leading conservation organization.
New concerns arise from the coronavirus in China ahead of the Chinese Lunar New Year, as governments around the world struggle to stop the spread of that disease. Last year, close to 7 million Chinese tourists traveled abroad for the holiday. More than 100 officials in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York are screening incoming passengers from certain cities in China to detect the deadly coronavirus.
The American Red Cross says it continues to struggle through a critical blood shortage this season. Right now, they're seriously in need of type O blood, but they're asking donors of all types to step up. Without more donors, patient care could be impacted. You can head to redcrossblood.org to find a blood drive near you.
Yes, the city and county are trying to make things a little bit easier for moms and babies by creating breast pumping rooms. We're live on South Park Street in front of one of those pumping rooms. Now, it is legal to breastfeed anywhere you choose, but in 2019, the city passed a memorandum to create safe and quiet private facilities for moms and babies. There are now 100 of those breast pumping rooms in the county and city. Leah?
An interim superintendent for the Beloit School District could be announced later today. The Beloit School Board is holding a meeting today where they'll elect new officers. School district officials are working to restructure after accepting a resignation from former Superintendent Stanley Monroe last week. The former school board president, Pamela Charles, also stepped down.
All right, 6:56 now. Let's turn it over to Stacey K with a look at your first alert traffic. Hey, Stacey.
Hello. The westbound Beltline is getting busier now between Stoughton Road and Monona Drive. Inbound John Nolan getting busier at the Rimrock and North Shore Drive intersections as you make your way into downtown. And other main routes heading into Madison cruising along. No crashes or delays to report at this time. With your first alert traffic, I'm Stacey K.
Thank you, Stacy. Here's a look at those drive times as you head into Madison this morning. Don't forget the sunglasses. Skies are clear. Beautiful shot from the Edgewater Sky Cam this morning of the Capitol and the pink sky behind. We have lots of sunshine in our forecast today. It is starting off very chilly with temperatures in the single digits. We will top in the mid-20s though this afternoon. Keep in mind that southwesterly wind is going to make it feel a little bit colder. Snow spreads back into the area on Wednesday, and we'll lose that sunshine. A lot of clouds in that upcoming forecast.
Ooh, take advantage of that sunshine today. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us, everyone. Go make it a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. CBS This Morning is just ahead.